brush for all it's worth.
Okay, we're live. Excellent. So we're at Inside Chobham, in Chobham, oddly enough, and we're doing a special Annie Sloan Late event here at Inside Chobham. And I'm pretty certain that this will be the only one that's live streamed over the internet, because we're a bit mad, aren't we, Faye?
Slightly.
Slightly. Look at how you dress.
Curiouser and curiouser.
Now, just before we start this demonstration, because Charlotte's going to do a demonstration of how you paint a typical bit of furniture with this fantastic chalk paint. But just explain why you're dressed so daft.
It's part of a global Annie Sloan event, and Annie Sloan Late. It's our choice to dress as we are, but we just thought we'd have a bit of a Mad Hatter theme to the evening, just for a bit of fun. No particular reason. Everyone's free to choose their own theme, but really it's fundraising dictated by Annie Sloan. So stockists across the world will be taking part in this, all doing their own thing, and we're raising funds for NSPCC and our local Woking hospice at Knaphill.
Wonderful, which is a fantastic cause. It really is, and does incredible things in our community. So anybody watching this locally, you know, you can support this event and just pop in. You can give a donation here at Inside Chobham if you're buying your chalk paint.
Yeah, we're working with the Woking and Sandbere Hospice this year, mainly because they've got a fantastic second-hand furniture shop at Knaphill, which was where this lovely piece of furniture has come from that Charlotte's going to transform. Okay. So this has been on sale in the shop for £45.
Yeah, £45.
£45. Charlotte's going to paint it, and we'll hope when it goes back to the shop they'll be getting an awful lot more money for it. Yeah. But it just shows you what a bargain you can pick up. Right. You might not like the colour of it is now, but by the time Charlotte's finished, you'll see what a transformation it is with the Annie Sloan Chalk Paint.
Wonderful. Right, shall we crack on then?
Absolutely.
Excellent. Now, Gord, you're going to stand as security around there.
Yeah. I'm going that way.
Oh, you're going that way. Okay, fine.
So your security.
Your security there, just to stop people walking through. Now, just for the benefit of the people watching this live, you know, this is a very busy shop, and so people may be walking through, so do forgive that. So go on then, let's crack on.
Okay.
So what colours are you using?
Today I'm going to use French linen, which is a really, really lovely, it's a grey, but there's a really nice mushroomy feel to it. It's a really nice deep texture,
right?
And it's one of my personal favourites, and I did a sideboard very similar to this using French linen, okay, which ended up on TV, so that was fun.
Did it?
Yeah.
Oh wow. And just while we're talking of media, the last time that we did this, we did a video just off the spur of the moment. It wasn't planned at all. In fact, I filmed it on my iPhone.
Yeah.
And it had about 2,000 plays, that video, that we're aware of. And you say that there's been other reach of it as well, right?
Yeah, Chic Mouldings put it on their YouTube channel, which I'm sure they're going to do again.
Right.
And they had well over 3,000 hits on it.
Wow.
Which scares me a little.
Right, excellent. And you can buy Chic Moulding stuff here, can't you?
Well, we don't stock it, but she's only in Horsell, which is not 10 minutes from here. Charlotte's got a few examples with her today, and she's going to use some more.
Oh, right, fantastic.
Yeah.
Excellent. So if you talk us through what you're doing, and I'll, like last time, I'll ask you questions as you're going along.
Okay.
Okay.
So the first thing I'm going to do to this, because I am using Chic Mouldings, is I'm going to attach the mouldings before I attach any paint, so that they don't slide off.
Okay.
And if the lady who was watching last time, who got upset that they slid off,
right,
and it upset her OCD, I do hope it doesn't happen again.
I hope it doesn't. Excellent.
So all I'm going to do, I thought these little Tudor rosettes would look very sweet just in the middle of the drawers there. Yeah. Doors, not drawers. So all I'm going to do is, there's a very, very brilliant two-step glue, which I've stuck the lid on. There you go. And all I'm going to do is put a few dabs of the glue around the moulding.
Right.
And I'm going to use the spray.
Sure.
And and try not to stick my fingers to it, and really try and get it in position.
That would be so funny if you did that
oh,
live
hello.
on the internet. You'd be stuck to that cabinet.
Wouldn't be quite so funny. And I'm just going to hold that in place while the glue bonds, which it will do very quickly. There you go. That's solidly on.
Well, that did set quick, didn't it?
It really does. Yeah. And I'm going to do the same on the other side quickly.
Faye, is there any chance we could shut that door at the back?
Yep.
Because the wind is cutting across our mic here, if that's all right. Thank you. Okay.
Stay there. Oh dear, fingers stuck together.
Wonderful.
Okay, so that's in place. So now I'm going to do exactly what I would be doing if it was just a piece of furniture with no mouldings on it.
Okay.
And this is sorry, my fingers are really funny now. This is a can that's already been opened, which is quite common in my house too.
Okay.
And Faye has kind of given me a stirring stick. So I'm just going to give it a good stir and make sure that all of the pigment goes back in.
Okay.
And I'm not going to sand it. I'm not going to do anything to it.
And that is the beauty of this product, isn't it? That you haven't got to prime it, you haven't got to sand it, you just make it a bit cleaner.
But the Mad Hatter does wash it down beforehand to make sure it's clean.
Everyone needs a Mad.
He does need a Mad Hatter. And we've certainly got one here at Inside Chobham.
We're all mad here.
And literally all I'm doing is just dipping the brush into the paint and just going straight on. And it's that simple.
And part of the appeal of this stuff, I suppose, is not to be too precise. It's meant to be rustic, isn't it?
Well, you can do so many different styles with it.
Okay.
I do like a nice rustic, partly distressed look. There are lots of people out there who prefer a nice solid block of colour.
Yeah.
And the beauty of chalk paint is you can do both. So it's so versatile. What was the expression, Gord, that you used earlier? Can't remember. There was a really good expression.
Okay.
We'll remember.
We'll think of it in a minute.
One paint, many possibilities.
Endless possibilities, isn't it?
One paint, endless possibilities. That could be a strap line, couldn't it?
It is.
It is a strap line. Right, okay.
Yeah.
I thought I recognised it.
And yeah, I mean, it's so versatile. You can just do so many different things with it. You can thicken it up by popping it in the fridge, bizarrely, or by leaving the lid off for a while.
Okay.
And then if you use it in that fashion, then it's a really nice sort of chunky, thick finish, which you can then make quite chippy and flaky. You can water it down and use it like a wash, which I've done on some pieces. But I think the best thing to say is that anybody who's trying chalk paint for the first time, don't expect it to be like any paint you've used before, because it isn't, and that's what's so beautiful about it. So don't be put off that the texture is different. Just play with it and find your own way, which is... Yeah.
And the thing as well is that because Faye's got a piece in here, I can't actually put the camera on it right now, but Faye's got a piece in here that she just, every time she does something different in the shop, she just paints over it a different colour. Yeah. And so if you do cock it up, just paint over it, right?
Exactly right. Exactly. Yeah. And I've done that so many times.
Right.
And I will be this crazy little table here that I did this morning, just to show that you can use chalk paint to do anything. I'm not sure that's a keeper for me, so I will probably paint back over that.
Right, okay, there you go. Yeah, again, I can't really, let me see if I can get the camera on that. It'll show up on the recording, but not on the live stream. So let me just
okay.
point the camera down a little bit at that table. There it is there. And are all those Annie Sloan colours?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's incredible. So I can see why it's not a keeper.
I think you'll get a hearty, resounding sound of agreement from my husband.
Yeah, and he's in the background there.
So I'm also just painting over the handles. You can do that if you want to. You don't have to.
Yeah.
But what I can do, and what I will do, is I quite like some of the brassy gold colour that's coming out of them. So when I finish painting, I will just rub those back a little bit.
Okay.
I'm just going to open that drawer so it doesn't get stuck.
Okay.
Okay, so that's how quick it is. How long have we been talking? Not very long at all.
A few minutes.
Yeah.
Lovely. Now, for people watching this live, if you can hear lots of whispering in the background, it's because we've got people in the shop, and they don't have to whisper if they don't want to. But you will be, there will be a lot of people watching it.
Okay, I'm just going to do this side as well before I cross in front of everybody.
Now, this particular piece
Yeah.
was a bit like the piece that Faye and I, in terms of the colour,
Yeah.
which is a bit out of fashion now.
Yeah.
People don't want these, and they tend to either throw them away, take them to the tip. But actually, you're going to show us now how you turn it into a real modern piece, which people will pay a premium for.
Well, yeah, and the thing about furniture of this age is that it's been so well made. It's to get something of a similar quality made now, you would be paying an absolute fortune. And to think that so many of these pieces have seen so much in the houses they've been in. They've experienced so much. They've been such well-loved pieces of furniture. It kind of breaks my heart to think that they would end up
on a rubbish dump.
On a rubbish dump as firewood.
Or in landfill.
Exactly right.
Yeah.
And there's also that element of, I had a client recently who said that one of the reasons that she wanted some things that I'd painted was because she doesn't want anything that looks like it's come from the department store. Right. Because anybody can have that. Exactly.
Right.
She wants something that is completely unique to her. And as soon as you paint a piece or you ask someone else to paint a piece for you, you're getting something completely unique that no one else can ever have.
Right.
Because if I had the same sideboard, I could paint the same thing and it would still come out differently.
Yeah.
Which is kind of lovely.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Do you find that at your play days?
Definitely.
People produce different things.
Definitely. People's perception of a look varies enormously. So what one person thinks is shabby chic isn't necessarily what someone else thinks is shabby chic.
Just come in the frame a little bit so people can see on the live feed there.
Somebody might think they're painting in a French style.
Yeah.
Charlotte or I might paint, that's not French, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what you think it is. If it works for you and you're revamping, as Charlotte says, a fabulously made old piece of furniture, that doesn't want to go to landfill. That wants to be reloved and pre-loved.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, fantastic pieces of furniture.
Okay.
Yeah, it looks well made, this particular one, doesn't it? Yeah. It's very well made.
It's absolutely beautiful. I love furniture of this style. It's one of my favourites. It was an absolute delight walking in today and seeing this because until I walked in this afternoon, I had no idea what I was painting.
Right. Okay. Fantastic. Now, a tin of paint like that, how much does it cost?
£19, I think.
Yeah,
Faye?
so you can buy a tin of this paint for 19 quid, is that right,
Yes,
Faye?
a tin of paint's £19, and that gives a coverage of 13 square metres to the litre. That's probably 4 items that size.
Right, so you're really going to get some mileage out of it.
Yeah, you also need to buy a tin of wax. A tin of wax this size is £9.
Yeah.
So that's £9 for that size wax.
Yeah.
But this tin of wax will do maybe 4 or 6 litres of paint.
Right.
So for less than £30, you can transform, 6-10 pieces of furniture, depending on the size of them.
Right.
So it's very economical.
Yeah.
Particularly if you can pick up something like that for under £50.
Yeah, absolutely. And you stock everything here, don't you, Faye?
Yeah.
Come over this way a little bit.
We endeavour.
Look at that one there.
We endeavour to keep in stock all of the Annie Sloan colours. So all the time we've got all of the tester pots, 33 different colours.
Yeah.
We've always got testers. Occasionally there might be a run on something, particularly if there's been a colour shown in the press. For example, when the Royal Baby arrived, there was a lot of anticipation about the fact it was going to be a girl. So consequently, we were all selling, all the stockists had a run on Antoinette, which is a very pretty baby pink, which had been featured in the Sunday tabloids.
Yeah.
So everybody was assuming the Royal Baby was going to be a girl, and everybody wanted to buy the paint for that reason. But we keep all of those colours in stock.
Okay,
all of the Annie Sloan products, the brushes, all of the chalk paint, the
All
floor
the
lacquer, the waxes, books, everything.
Right. Okay.
We keep Charlotte very well stocked to feed her addiction.
Yeah, that's the thing.
And it really is an addiction for you, isn't it, Charlotte?
It's a huge addiction, and frankly, I think Annie should start putting a warning on her paints to say, be careful, you will become horribly addicted. My house, Faye will attest.
Jenga Town,
as it's known. So called because you have to move 4 pieces of furniture to get to the cooker. Yeah, we are absolutely full to bursting. Because the other thing is, I mean, I'm gutted actually that I hadn't been along to Woking Hospice and found this particular piece of furniture, because I would have snapped it up.
Yeah.
But
I can see your husband in the background there. He's going, not another piece of furniture.
Sorry to butt in, but I can tell you they've got 2 beautiful pieces of furniture for anyone that wants to rush down there tomorrow. One that you'd probably call a dressing table, but it's got a very ornate upstand with a mirror.
Oh, wow.
And another one that's similar, almost chiffonier. I think the chiffonier is 95, but I think the ornate dressing table, all it's got is one of the little handles. It's got 3 drawers, and one of the handles is broken, but you could easily put some wire on that and nobody would ever notice when that was painted. But beautiful pieces of furniture.
Yeah.
Bargains. Get to Woking Hospice shop in Nat Hill tomorrow.
Yeah,
I know where I'm going.
We went there a few weeks ago, and I bought a chair which I still haven't picked up yet. I need to go and pick that up. I have been a little bit busy though, to be fair.
The chiffonier is absolutely beautiful.
Is it right?
Fab piece of furniture. The only reason we didn't bring it to paint was it's a little bit ornate, and obviously I know we're on a bit of a time scale tonight.
Yeah.
But that would be a bargain for somebody that wanted to transform it.
So it's well worth a visit. The Nat Hill store for the Woking and Sandbeer hospices in Nat Hill.
Could you replace the handles, Faye?
You could. I think probably the best place, if you wanted to match them, would be eBay.
Yeah.
But I certainly would be tempted to just join a piece of wire. It doesn't prevent the drawer from opening. You can open because there's a pair on each drawer, so you can still open the drawer with just one. And it doesn't. It's not very obvious that it's only the little loop across that's missing. But for your own use, I don't think it would really matter.
Right.
But mirror, little upstand on the mirror, they're very, very pretty, both of them.
And the drawers that you painted for the video we did for the Woking Hospice, we left one drawer purposefully so people could see the difference, but someone still bought it, didn't they?
That's right.
Yeah.
Yes, we thought if we left one of the drawers in the dark brown finish, people would see the transformation between the old walnut coloured wood and the new duck egg colourway. But somebody loved it so much, she bought it as it was. She even came in to buy more paint, but was going to leave the drawer unpainted because she liked.
I'm finding that there's a lot of that. There's a real trend towards having bits of things painted and then other bits left in their original. Because I think people are finding that the solid block of dark wood can be quite oppressive in their homes. But then just having a few other bits that are lightened up around it can make something really extraordinary looking.
Well, this piece was a bit Art Deco, wasn't it?
Oh,
It was deeper than it was wide. The handles on it ran horizontally rather than vertically, and it got very much an Art Deco look to it.
Yeah.
And it sort of looked okay with the top drawer
It did actually, and once you painted it, it really looked modern, didn't it? Because of the curves on it.
Yeah, very, very nice piece of furniture.
Yeah, it was.
But the Woking Hospice shop, it's one of those places, particularly if you've got the paint addiction. The chalk paint's so easy to use. You could almost go in there every day and buy an item of furniture. The turnover of stock's very, very good.
Yeah, I hope you're here listening to this, Stuart. I wonder.
And of course, all the money, the furniture's all donated, so everything they make goes back to the charity. And obviously, we're all local. Yeah. You never know when you're going to need Woking Hospice, or everybody knows somebody that has benefited from Woking Hospice.
I think if you get home and she's not there, I think you know where she is. Yeah,
I don't know what you mean.
You can go and volunteer in the shop to help.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah. Like, you saw what happened when I saw your fabric stash this evening. Oh yeah, about that.
Excellent. Now we've been how long have we been running for? Let me have a look at the front of this camera here, because that will tell me 20 minutes. And yeah, looking good already.
It's looking pretty good. Just a little bit of touching up.
Yep. And
then we're almost at the point of waxing. Shall I leave the top? Do the top later.
I think as it's a demo in true Blue Peter fashion, let's cut it short.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because it's too big to move around, so people can see those bits anyway. So
I will finish it though.
No, that's all right.
So all I'm doing now is going back over some of the areas which are starting to dry already, just to touch it up completely. There is a bit of a kind of a strange thought process in this, because I will discuss this in a second, but I prefer to paint something completely and then decide where I'm going to make it look older.
Okay.
It's drying really quickly. It's really warm today. So.
Yeah, it is warm today. Cool.
Right into that moulding there. Actually, I'm pleased I chose that one because it works really well with the handles there too. Okay, so so now I'm just going to leave that to dry for it's been drying so quickly. I think I'm just going to leave it for 5 minutes or so.
5 minutes, okay. Now I'll leave the live feed going.
Okay.
But I'll pause the GoPro for the recording.
Okay.
Start that again.
I will just keep fluffing.
Cool.
It's a good time to catch any drips.
Yeah.
Open the front door again and get a bit of draft.
Yes, that's a good idea. That is a good idea. So we're going to open the door, get a bit of a draft going through it. And then what I'd like you to do as a bit of a filler, Faye, is just to talk about your events that you have here regularly, your Annie Sloan events.
Sorry.
Just because we're going to be waiting for 5 minutes, why don't you come and talk about your events? Because you do a regular. Let me just change the camera here a little bit so they can see you. So you do a regular Annie Sloan event here. I forget what Saturday it is.
Yes, it's generally the first Saturday of the month. We have what we call a chalk paint play day. So for people that perhaps have not used the paint before, We get all of the tester pots out on the table here where Charlotte's painting.
Yeah.
We cut up squares of wallpaper so anyone can turn up. It's between 10 and 12. We've actually got one tomorrow as a follow-on from tonight.
Okay.
So anybody watching this that wants to come and have a go with the paint, you can just turn up. You don't need to book. We give you a piece of paper. You can do a colour swatch to take home if you want an exact colour or you want to match up to something you've got at home. But it saves you buying a tester pot for £6.50. Right. Not that we don't want your £6.50s, but it means if you want to try 2 or 3 colours, you don't have to invest in a tester pot. You can do your little swatch, take it home, and then come back and choose the right colour. Or if of the colour palette of 33 colours, if there isn't an exact colour, you can have a go at colour mixing. Okay. So all of the colours, there are 3 whites, and 2 of those, original and old white, mix very, very well with the others to lighten them. So even if you've perhaps got 2 or 3 pieces of furniture in the room, but you don't want it all to match exactly, you can use a shade variation to do the pieces of furniture. You won't make a mistake with your colour choice because you've only used the same 2 colours, but you don't end up with a room looking like you've been to the painted furniture shop. As Charlotte said, it's modern furniture that you've just been out and bought new pieces of furniture. So that's one way of cleverly shading things to gives you a consistent look, but you're not going to make a mistake with colour. So another idea, if you want a brownie colour or a different shade of green, you have a go at mixing colours, dragging colours in together to see what ratio or what colours you need to buy to get the colour you want. So that's normally the first Saturday of the month. Best thing is check the website and our Facebook page. Also the Surrey Heath Residents Network page, that they always show the posters and tell you which days we're going to do that. Normally once a month at least, we also have beginners workshops, which is a 3-hour course teaching basic painting techniques. Right. So if you're completely new or you want a bit more confidence with painting furniture like Charlotte's done, but you just don't know where to begin, you can book to come on one of those. We provide everything you need, but hopefully by the end of the 3 hours, off you go and you've got the skills you need and the confidence to have a go at different techniques, whether it be smooth, flat, modern finish, something like Charlotte's doing here, a lot of use of dark wax, which people are sometimes scared of, but it gives you enough confidence to work on any piece. Use the transformation with Annie Sloan Chalk Paint. You'll have enough confidence to tackle anything. Okay, and what's the best way for people to book to get on there? If you want to book on the beginners workshop, you just phone us up and do that. But again, the dates are always on the website and on Facebook. But just give us a call. Anything you need to know, just give us a call here. Gord or I are always here, so we can help with any queries. And it's interesting how busy this store is. I mean, we can see people on the live feed here walking through. At weekends, you must get busy. Yeah, certainly. We only open until 1 on a Saturday. We're 9 to 5 during the week and 9 until 1 on a Saturday. Yeah. And it's constant. Sometimes you could sit here for an hour and nothing happens, but then you can have, like we've got at the moment, that could be 6 or 8 people in here. But certainly with the Annie Sloan Chalk Paint, people are very friendly and inquisitive. So if someone's buying a colour, often someone will say, oh, what are you buying that for? They're exchanging photos with each other, showing pieces that they've done. Look at this is what I did last week. So it becomes very friendly, and almost, I think we should be a bit of a cafe. If we serve drinks and cake, we probably wouldn't get rid of people. Right. But yes, it's a constant flow of people, and people are very inquisitive and want to share their ideas and things. And you share quite a lot on your Twitter, your Instagram, your Facebook. Quite active on social media, which is great. Obviously with help from Paul and prompted by Paul, but we do try and put information on there for people to follow and keep up with, mainly paint related, because we're also addicted to the paint, and it's such a nice thing to show. It's a nice thing to share. Yeah, absolutely. Now how's it going, Charlotte? How are we doing? I think I'm ready to start discussing. Actually, perfect time. At least this door. Yeah, right. Okay. Now let me just move this round so that you're in the center of the frame, and let me just start the recording again. So just wait 1 second. Cool. Right. Okay then. So I want to give this a little bit more feature. And I want it to look like it's been living in a family for a while. Right. So I am going to distress it. And you hear people say that a lot, that distressed look. Yeah. And I've seen Faye do this a couple of times. It's actually really easy, isn't it? Yeah. What, being distressed?
It is really easy, and the beauty of it is, I think the key advice I can give anybody is don't be afraid to give it a go.
Yeah.
Because if you do take it too far and you decide that you don't like it,
Yeah.
then you just paint back over it until you're happy with the finish that you've got. That's the beauty of chalk paint. You can just keep layering and layering and layering until you've got exactly what you want.
Right, brilliant. Okay, then. So what you got there?
So I've just got a sanding block, which is my preferred method.
Yeah.
It's a little Velcro one, so I've just got some Velcro sandpaper, or Velcro backed sandpaper.
And it's not any particular sandpaper. You can not right.
No.
Okay, just from B&Q or wherever.
Yeah,
not that we want to give them a plug, eh? Faye?
No. And this one actually is probably going to be a little bit harsh for my normal taste. I'd probably normally go with a 120 grit. This is 80, but it's been quite well used.
Yeah.
So hopefully it won't be too aggressive.
Okay.
And I'm just going to wipe down the bits that you know are going to get knocked as people walk past them. And go a little bit over the.
And if you think about it, it's actually quite crazy that people want this worn look, but it's fashionable, isn't it?
I think it's again, it's that wanting something that's totally unique and totally personal to you.
Yeah.
So I can't distress the same piece of furniture in the same place twice.
Right.
It's always going to be different.
Yeah.
And that's what makes it so beautiful and so personal. And plus, as much as it's nice to say, look at my new old piece of furniture, some people want to have a piece of furniture that looks like it's been in the family for generations.
Right. Now, it probably won't show it on the live feed or on the recording what's happening there, but you can see now on the edges that the sort of dark wood that we saw underneath is starting to show through, and it looks very cool, I've got to say.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, it really does.
Didn't mind me stressing it, did you?
She hasn't got much choice now.
No. Well, I'll just paint back over it.
You can always paint back over the top. Absolutely right. Yeah. So how many of these would you say you do in a month, Charlotte?
Me?
Yeah.
When the weather's good. When the weather's good.
Got a little sweatshop going there, eh?
I would happily at a weekend, on a Saturday like today, or with weather like today, I would maybe do 3 or 4.
Yeah,
at least start 3 or 4.
Yeah.
And because the weather is so beautiful, when the paint dries a lot faster.
Yeah.
So in the winter it's a lot harder because it takes a while for the paint to dry.
Yeah.
But then I would have 2 or 3 things on the go.
Right,
So as I put a first coat on
bit
something,
of conveyor belt going.
start something else. Yeah.
Yeah, and we follow each other on Facebook, and
Yes.
you even give them to friends and family at Christmas, don't you?
Yep. And in fact, our middle son got married a couple of weeks ago now, and so he is getting a coffee table.
Right, right.
He and his wife. So yeah,
Lovely.
that's what they wanted. That's what they're getting.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think it's really nice. It's much more personal than buying a gift, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
But
That's
certainly,
nicer.
painted items, smaller items of furniture particularly, things like little wine tables. Actually, I'll get one out of the window to show you.
Oh, okay.
is probably an item absolutely everybody will recognise. Little reproduction, side table,
A little bit.
wine table, call it what you will. Normally rosewood or mahogany. We painted this actually coincidentally the same colour French linen chalk paint that Charlotte's using. And we've decoupaged. So we have stuck on here, this is a piece of wallpaper that we've put on the top. So this had the typical leather insert on it. Again, no longer fashionable, but talking about personalised gifts, you can pick these up in the hospital. It cost me by £3 off the shop.
Wow.
But you could put photographs on there if you had a friend or a family member that was particularly into cats, for example. You could print off images of cats and you could make a very personalised item. Posters made out of second-hand tiles. If you tiled your bathroom, you've got tiles left over. You could decoupage using Annie Sloan's decoupage medium, which acts as a glue and a sealer.
Right.
Make personalised gifts for people.
Just show that on the other camera there. Right. Fantastic. Look at that. And it's just incredible. Just so simple.
And that's one coat of paint, one coat of wax.
Yeah.
On there.
Brilliant.
The little table there was also leather topped, and I just painted straight over.
Straight over the top, yep. Sometimes it's quite nice, the texture, because the leather's got a grain to it, it actually looks quite nice sometimes with the paint on top of it. It just gives it a new lease of life.
Right. Fantastic. Now, is that a microphone in your way?
No, I'm absolutely fine with it there. Thank you.
Right.
Oh, need to unlock. Can't be Alice in Wonderland without lots of keys, can you?
I will use the microphone because it's a very expensive one and I don't want dust in it.
Sorry.
I should really say hello to the live feed. Hello, everybody. I'm the voice. Careful.
Sorry.
If you don't trip on that wire there. Let me move this out of the way.
Okay, I'm nearly done. So.
Okay, and then we'll move it back again.
Right,
Get these headphones out of the way.
Good. Not overly distressed, but enough to show that it's been kicking around for a bit.
So,
So
what next? Let me just move the mic back.
So now I'm going to use clear wax.
Okay.
Just to seal the paint.
Yeah.
And make sure that it just withstands a bit of knocking.
Could you just bring that tin just a bit closer to this
Yep.
camera here so the live viewers can see that? Brilliant. Fantastic. Also available here at Inside Chobham.
Yep. And I'm going to use my trusty Annie Sloan wax brush.
Right, which looks like a shaving brush,
It
doesn't
does. It does.
Yeah.
And I love
Not
it.
that I ever shave, but
Glad to say neither do I. So I'm just dipping the head of the brush into the wax,
okay.
which is actually a really nice temperature because it's warm. And I'm not overloading the brush. I wonder if I should.
Yeah, just show that on there. Just bring that down a little bit. Just a tiny bit on there.
Yeah.
And just show it on the other camera there. That's for the recording. Just a bit. There we go. That's it.
Very disconcerting.
Yeah, lovely.
Okay, and I can either hold it like a pen, or you can really get
Into the nooks and crannies.
Stab it in.
Yeah.
So, for
useful
example,
for
for the moulding, I can get really stuck in there and make sure that all of that is completely covered in.
Now you can't see on the. Unfortunately, we won't be able to see so close up with the live feed or the recording, but you can already see a difference.
Yeah.
On that moulding when you put the wax on.
Yeah, you do find that you can see where you've been waxing because it changes the colour a little. Sometimes it's more perceptible than on other colours.
Yeah.
But it's quite a useful guide for knowing.
I think what I might do, I'm going to try something here.
Okay.
I'm going to take this camera off here. So apologies for anybody watching this if it makes you feel sick while I'm just... but I just want to bring this in so you can maybe see a bit closer. There you go.
And
you can actually make it out now. Where the brush is there, you can see it's really starting to absorb. That's it. Look at that. Yeah, yeah. Brilliant.
So I'm just working the wax into the paint, and then what I'm going to do is go back in a second and just wipe off any excess.
Okay.
And then you can, if you want to, apply another layer, which I'd normally do sort of 24 hours later if I wanted to really buff it up and make it shiny.
Yep.
But this piece is just begging out for a bit of rustic appeal. So and I am using my left hand despite being right-handed.
Now, what do you do in your day job, Charlotte? Because you don't do this full time, do you?
No.
You've got quite an exciting job, actually. You work for a really cool organisation, don't you?
I do work for a really cool organisation.
I know you can't say who that is now,
but I work.
But let's say it's in the sporting sector.
Let's do that.
Yeah.
And I work as PA to the finance director, who's also our company secretary.
Right.
So it's really, really varied.
Cool.
Yeah, and very intense.
That's what that noise is there.
But it's a really intense job.
Yeah.
And I have a lot of people say to me, how do I find the time to paint? But actually, it's the perfect antidote.
Yeah.
It's just a really nice wind down.
When you're stressed out and that,
Yeah. Because I love being able to breathe new life into things and create something. And it's such a contrast to what I do during the rest of my working life that it's it's really special.
I expect you're busy now, aren't you?
Yeah.
This time of year?
Yeah, always busy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, I'm going to put him on the spot now, but that's Charlotte's husband there. Wave, say hello.
Mr. D.
Mr. D.
As my Facebook followers know him.
Yeah. Yes, you carry the furniture.
He's the Jenga king as well.
All right.
Patient Mr. D.
I wish I'd have done this earlier with the camera. I never thought to take it off and get in a bit close.
That's okay. I think this is
You're
probably
nearly done now, aren't you?
Yeah.
It looks really good, and you can see that side that's been done.
Yeah.
And that side that hasn't.
Yeah. Wow, that's really clear.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah.
Wonderful.
So you can see that there is. I don't know if you can on the live feed, but you can see that there are some kind of excess bits here.
Yeah.
Where it's got a little bit. So I'm just going to wipe those off.
And what are you using to wipe it off?
I'm using it's a cloth actually that Faye sells, and it's just a lint-free cloth, and it's absolutely brilliant because it doesn't leave any marks, and it's nice and sort of. It's got a little bit of movement in it. It's a little bit flexible.
And would you use that one-off, or would you be able to reuse them?
They're disposable.
They're disposable, right?
You can just throw them away. You wouldn't want to think about washing them.
Okay.
And what's quite nice here, I don't know if you want to bring the camera in and just see this. I used a white moulding on this piece of furniture, and just where I've been waxing, you'll find sometimes that the wax will, or the movement of the brush will actually bring back some of the paint.
Okay.
So now you've got actually a really nice contrast because you've got the distressing here on the wood, and then you've got a little bit of the white showing through from the moulding there underneath the grey, which looks really pretty.
It looks so cool. It really does. Yeah. I'm going to put this back on the tripod now because people are probably feeling sick with it moving around.
Okay. And also, I mentioned earlier that I was thinking about taking some of the paint off the handles. So I'm just going to get a baby wipe.
Okay.
And just literally rub off the areas that I want to show.
Sorry, I was just sorting out the live feed because I got a warning on there, but that's okay now. Fix that.
Okay, so I'm just using a baby wipe now to just bring back some of the gold, which I think is really pretty. I'm getting a call for dark wax.
Yes, always dark wax.
Do you,
We're addicted to dark wax.
we are addicted to dark wax. I'm just going to rip a bit off here and use that just to put it on with, because I don't want to mix up.
So what are you doing now? Do I need to bring the camera in close again? Might be useful.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm just going to focus on this half at the moment.
Sorry to the live viewers here while I just bring the camera around.
Making you seasick again, everybody.
Yeah.
I'm just going to concentrate on this bit because I've already clear waxed this, and it is always, always important to make sure that you clear wax before you put on any dark wax.
Okay.
And people are terrified of dark wax.
Yeah.
And I did actually take a few deep breaths before I used it for the first time, because when you open it, it's like boot polish.
Yeah.
But it really can. If you want to give that really beautifully aged texture again, then it's perfect.
Okay.
So I'm just going to,
Can you just show how much you're putting on there? Right. Not right. Okay.
It's more luck than judgment, really. And you can use a brush, which I often do, but just because it was a last minute decision, I'm just going to put this on with a cloth, and only on the bits that I've already put clear wax on. And I'm just going to work it in a little bit, just to give it that sort of really, I find it works so beautifully with French linen as well. It just,
yeah, it does. I can see
just
what you
that
mean.
sort of almost, it's a kind of greeny browny hue.
Yeah.
That just makes it look like it's been in circulation.
Definitely
for a
gives
lot
it an
longer.
edge. Yeah.
And it has. So that's probably quite a lot. And the beauty of it is, if you do put too much on, then you can go back over it with a little bit of clear, just to rub it back a bit.
Right.
I'm sure there are people shouting at the screen now saying, "Don't do it like that." If it works, it works.
Yeah. Now on the live feed, this is showing, but unfortunately, it won't show on the recording.
What we can do, if we if I just, when we finished, if I just clear wax that, you can do maybe a comparison.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Actually, yeah, that's a good idea.
And when you see an aged piece of furniture, but a genuinely aged piece of furniture, it's not always the sort of the dark patina that it acquires. It doesn't happen in blocks or stripes or anything. So the fact that this has gone, you can see sort of just different shapes and movements and textures, is absolutely in keeping with the finish that I wanted.
Does it look so cool? It really does look aged. I mean,
yeah,
you wouldn't know now looking at that you've just put that paint on. Hey.
So it could be 100 years old.
Yeah.
That piece of furniture. Yeah, the dark wax is great for applying if you've got anything that's, again, where the moulding is, any grooves on the furniture where Charlotte is now, anywhere that dust would naturally collect over the years.
Yeah.
The dark wax is ideal for widging right in there, wipe off a bit of excess, but it just remains in those nooks and crannies and the crevices, and that helps to give the aged look to it. So that could have come out of a chateau, 150 years ago, you wouldn't know.
Right.
If someone told you that, you'd be hard pushed to know any different.